Welcome back, and today we are creating the Ally shrimp on a golden treble hook. It looks like this. I'm starting off attaching the treble. I must say I usually use a size 10, but for the visual aspect of creating this video, I'm using the size 8 for now. I'm using a red tying thread and I'm leaving some space in the front and working my way backward until I'm approximately in the middle of the body. I'm attaching the oval extra small silver tinsel. This is from Lagartun. I like to attach them on the sides like this. And it's a little bit tricky to actually do this on the treble because you can destroy the tying thread by just cut it off on the point end of the hook. So I'm using to do it more like this, leaving probably a millimeter. Here, working my way forward again and cutting off. While turning the silver tinsel, I'm being careful so I don't snag it in the end of the hook. Doing approximately 3 turns depending on how thick your tinsel is. And then I'm just sliding it in the middle like this. Applying some pressure and securing. Working my way until forward again until I'm in the middle of the hook shank. Going a little bit forward again and back. So what I want is to have this tinsel on the side. So I'm holding it here in place and then I can leave it for now. Here you have some bucktail. Lengthwise, I'm using 1.5 the length of the total length of the hook. So if this is one length, I'm doing it like this. Leave it in top, do a loose turn, replace the tail so it's centered on top. Make sure that it's centered and go straight back. Work your way forward again until approximately midway. Cut in an angle so you can start tapering the body a little bit. Forward again. Being careful right now so I don't cut the thread. So if you can see, it looks like this. Next up is the flash. I'm using a Chrystal mirror flash. Just sliding it in. Again, being quite careful when I'm working my way back. On a size 8 and larger, for 2 or whatever, then I'm using to double up the flash here. If I'm going to a size 10, then I'm not doubling it up, then I'm just using the one strand. But now I'm doubling it up. Making sure that it's tight and I do not get the tying thread over the butt section here, or the tag. Looks quite nice, don't you think? Just tapering the body a little bit. Never cut the flash longer than the tail itself. Make it a little bit shorter so then it won't tangle up as much. Looks nice. So here you are ready to attach the red floss. If you want a golden Alice like this, then you're using a golden flat tinsel instead of red floss, but that is up to you. I'm using the red today. Securing it all the way back. Going forward. Cut off. And then applying a little bit of super glue so it's getting strong. When turning, I can do it your way. You need to make sure that you're covering everything except the tinsel itself. So I'm doing one turn straight over, and then I'm starting to work my way forward. Securing. Cutting off again. And then we're ready for the black floss. Moving the thread all the way until the metal part. Covering the red parts and attaching. I never use more than 3 turns when attaching this because I'm going to use super glue later on. I can actually do it just right now. A little bit super glue to the thread and do 2 turns backward again. 1, 2, remove the excess glue, and then we're ready for the tinsel. While turning this tinsel, make sure that you have even space between every turn. That is what makes this fly, in my opinion. It's so beautiful when the turns are evenly applied. So I'm taking my time here so it gets how I want. And I'm always attaching the tinsel on the side, never on top, because I don't want to build a large head. 3 turns, cut off. Make sure to use a scissor you're not afraid to destroy, because it's rough for the scissor to do it this way. And once again, applying some glue to the thread, 2 turns back, and then we're ready for the next step. One, two, maybe 3. So here you have the tail and the body. Here I have some natural colored white tipped squirrel. That is what I'm using underneath the wing. Putting it in a hair stacker. You can do it manually if you want, but I like to do this. Give it some nice taps on your table. And here you have it. Like this. Lengthwise, I'm going for 5-6 millimeters longer than the hook itself. So I'm holding it on place with all my fingers and do 1 loose turn, helping the fibers to roll around. And applying more pressure to secure it. So if I'm taking this off right now, you can see that you got some feathers underneath, but you have most of them on top. This is the part that's lifting up the golden pheasant later on. Attaching some glue again to the thread. Removing hairs that is in your way. I can see from here that it is a couple of them. This one. And like this. I like to use a scalpel to remove the front part of the squirrel hair, but that is totally up to you. Then applying more glue to the thread. And really secure it in the front. I'm also working my way a little bit forward so I can create a base for the golden pheasant. And that is what I'm going to do now. I have the golden pheasant right here. Doing 3 turns, 1, 2, 3. Hold on top and just pull until the feather is coming past the hook. So as you can see now, it's more like this. Applying some pressure on front. Threading this up the eye again. Make sure that you're holding a finger or 2 on top here when you're getting it back, so you don't rip it out of the place it's in. Cutting off and securing again. Tapering a little bit. Like this. final step is to attach a hackle. Here I have a hen hackle dyed hot orange. Lengthwise I'm going for just the length of the end here. The length of the hackle is always a matter of what you prefer. The hackle stem is secured. Just applying some glue. Take it off right here. And then it's time to use the hackle plier. I have attached the hackle, and I've been doing this with some moisture on my fingers, so it goes backwards like that. I want the fibers to turn back and not in the front. Usually some fibers go the wrong way, but that I can fix later on. 2 turns is the max amount for this fly. I really mean that. If you're using a rooster thin hackle, then you can go for 3, but this has some thickness to it, so I'm staying with 2 turns. I have secured the hackle right now, so I'm releasing the plier, doing maybe 1 or 2 turns more so I can see where I'm going to cut off the stem. So here you can see there's one annoying fiber going forward. That is something I'm just putting back again, like this. Use 3 fingers around, 1 on top and 2 underneath. Push it back, and then you start to working your way backward again. So you can get a nice clean head and pushing the fibers backwards. Like that. Before really securing it, I'm using a brush. Like this. Do the same again, hold back, create the head you want. Finish off with the whip finish. I'm doing 5 turns. That's 3, 4, and 5. The final step here is just to rearrange the hackle fibers a little bit and applying some head cement or varnish. I'm applying it 2 times to really get a nice head, but you can do whatever you want, of course. And here it is. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed this video.